And I stand up with it, and it hovering me like this. And I say, God, what can I do?
This is the worst storm you'd been through?
Every Jamaican can say that.
When we saw the flood, the rain coming up almost to the window, I really had to cry to God and say, God, please help.
We need to evacuate because we live on a runoff to the ocean. So with 40 inches of water, we're looking at a 13 feet sea surge.
Can you imagine there's no light, you're in total darkness, you're sleeping, the river is rising and you don't know, so much so that it's inside your house, but you can't see. You don't know where to go.
The thing that worried me about Melissa from the very beginning was how slow it was moving. The Weather Channel kept saying we'd never seen such a perfectly formed circle, which of course means that it is a powerful storm.
A historic and devastating hurricane is battering Jamaica as we speak.
You were watching the hurricane hunters that just called off their flight and said that we're not going into this hurricane. It's too dangerous.
It had maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour.
You could have just a small storm come through and it would knock out telephone lines for part of the island. Cell phones solved a lot of that problem, but this hurricane took out all the towers.
Since Jeff was unable to reach out to the brethren, he decided to hop on the first flight available after planes were cleared to land in the country again. He began searching for the brethren he'd been unable to reach by phone. What he found was complete devastation. Today, GoodWorks is traveling out to see the progress that has been made so far and listen to the story of God's people during the storm.
So these are people that don't have drinking water at their house. They'll come to the river to fill up their water bottles. This is spring water, so it's pure and clean.
Okay, so my name is Clive Brown, originally from Jamaica.
Clive is a member of the United Church of God in Vero Beach, Florida, and he owns a construction company. So far, he has spent 6 weeks in Jamaica helping with recovery efforts for our members.
We're estimating to at least repair about 6 houses. This is Montego Bay where we are. So it is 221 kilometers. That's where we end up to get the first set of material to do the first roof we have done.
Supplies are scarce on the island, so most have to be shipped in from outside the country. The week we arrived to film, we were expecting 8 generators. 2 members spent nearly 2 days waiting to clear customs, and even though import taxes were supposed to be suspended for relief supplies, we still had to pay about $2,000 in fees before the generators were released.
I can't imagine how many days they were stuck in here before they were able to clear the trees back.
We're on our way to check out the progress Clive has made on the first roof repair.
Hi, good morning.
This is Guyleen. She's 80 years old and shares a home with her brother Bobby and her daughter Danik. Bobby is an amputee, and Guyleen is his primary caretaker. During the storm, 80% of their roof blew away, leaving the 3 of them huddled in a single room as the storm raged around them.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, man. I'm Bobby Davis, sir.
I'm Jamie.
Go get you down, man.
Yes, sir.
This is my brother.
So all of this was gone.
Yes.
You lost your entire roof here.
Yes, yes.
So this came down while you were in the house.
The kitchen part was okay because it's concrete. So all 3 of us sleep in that room.
Okay.
Very, very scary.
Yeah.
Oh, all of the roof coming down, with the walls are coming down.
With very few resources, Guyleen believed they might spend the rest of their lives living in that one room that still had a roof.
You can see they've added new fascia boards, they've got a new metal flashing here, and then on top of that they have a new metal roof. In the US we call it metal, here in Jamaica they call it zinc.
Oh, yeah.
Up the top there, we see the water tank. So it's just one of those things where God protected the water tank. It's still there, and she was able to have water immediately after the hurricane, so that's a blessing.
Ask God to have mercy upon us. And He did.
Yes. Yes, He did. So we're almost to Denton Lewis's house, Denton and Marjorie Lewis. They were the last members for us to hear from because they're just so far out. The road is so bad. There was no way they were going to be able to get to town. This was an agricultural greenhouse center beforehand, and you can tell that the hurricane has completely demolished it.
Glory to God. You're such a smart brother, man. You, God bless you, man.
When you first heard about the hurricane, and what were you thinking?
When I was out the back, me and my wife, we was observing everything, just developing up timely. I said, my dog was right outside. And I said, wow, I can't leave him to get hurt. And when I went up there, I see a rushing wind. And I have to just grab him, pull up the notch, and let him out. And then from there, now we saw the old tree that breaking off and things like that. It's tall, so tall, and it fell on my building. And then my 2 containers that we have water with, it's like a miracle. None of them disappear like what I see happening to other guys.
You didn't get your water tank?
That's miracle. That's a miracle. I'm telling you something. This part of it here, the water was down here.
Yeah.
This one was full.
Oh, I can see
And
that.
piece of the plumbing break off, and I was standing at the door watching the water just. I said, God, help me. God just put them down nice and easy. And then long after now, as I was pointing out, this window was almost shaking out.
What were you thinking when this was happening?
I was thinking, oh my God, please help. Send the ministering angel. And then I was waiting for Denton to come, and then it took so long. I really cried to God from the bottom of my heart. I get courage, and I get to appreciate God, because it's just after the storm, when we went out to the neighbors, we saw what happened to them. And then we know that, God was with us.
Yeah.
We are more grateful now. We have more understanding. And we thank God for the brethren who came right after the storm to help. I can tell you, I experienced God through the brethren.
Sometimes God works in quiet, simple ways. At times, He protects us through the storm. Other times, He sends comfort through small acts of kindness.
We have a lot of Jamaicans that are in our congregation in Fort Lauderdale, and Chuck asked them, what is it that you would want if you were in Jamaica? And so they've given us clothes.
That's a good idea, Because Jamaica formula to their taste.
This is Jamaican Gatorade, right? That's why you...
They shared the last coconut from their fallen tree. Even our cameraman Jamie got in on the action.
Not bad.
Can you just start it? Is that...
Yeah, but I couldn't find the... There we go. Hello there.
Our next stop was the home of Claude Wilson, a longtime member of the Church of God. With a degree in agriculture, he began his career writing booklets on farming. He now writes for various newspapers and magazines around Jamaica. Recently, he published a book of sermonettes on Amazon as a way to help share the gospel message.
Water was coming in, so I have to be bucketing the water from here I had some dirty clothes. I used everything and tried. Shower curtain, but water was coming through any little hole, and people will tell you that. I said, Lord, I've lost energy. And God said, remember you have a Malta in the fridge.
Unlock your Jamaican energy with Malta.
So God and Malta got you through this.
Yes. The damage on my car is 500,000. The insurance will pay back, but I have to have the money. I have to advance the money.
With work for many in the country interrupted, it will take some time before he's able to get the money to make the needed repairs.
So we're going to loan you the money to get your car fixed. Yes. Yeah.
Claude was a joy to speak with. He was exuberant, talkative, and in nonstop motion during our entire visit. When we told him that Good Works would help him bridge the gap to get his vehicle repaired, he was at a rare loss for words.
This morning we're here to meet Paul Reese and go visit his farm where the papaya trees all fell down, and we'll see what other damage there is as well. Having a wonderful, pleasant morning, thanking God for helping us get those generators yesterday, and looking forward to seeing everybody today.
This is Paul. Trained as an agriculturalist, he owns a small farm where he raises cattle, fruit, and vegetables. His farm was hit very hard. This is the second year in a row that Paul has lost his entire papaya crop due to hurricane winds.
So you said you had papaya,
yes,
and then
papaya
you had
over
pumpkin,
there.
and what were the other?
Plantains. Right?
Plantains, okay.
Papayas, all of them blew down.
So how many acres do you have here?
Well, in total is over 50 acres. It goes way back to where those bamboos are.
Okay.
It was only this week we got back light and water.
Okay.
So we were living without water and without light for more than a month.
Paul and Jeff take a short walk up the hill to inspect his irrigation system. His tanks blew away during the storm, but he was able to retrieve them.
Is it common to have wells drilled on property like this?
No, even though there's an opening up there, but it was going to take about $40 million to really drill well in Jamaica.
You said 40 million?
Yeah, 40 million divided by 160.
$250,000 to drill a well. Wow.
It's expensive to have water trucked in. Once at the top, Jeff listened to Paul's idea for a rain catcher.
Okay. Good Works would really like to do that for you.
I'll appreciate that.
Okay.
So is there anything about, the storm that gives you hope after going through something like that?
What it does, it strengthens me, right? It made me more resilient because I know that things could have been worse because it has been worse for others. But I think God protected us.
Our relief efforts and cleanup are ongoing, but getting supplies to Jamaica is still challenging. We've had tools shipped to Paul, but, as of recording, those have yet to be received. He hopes to have his rain catcher built soon.
Oh, you can't shoot my garden.
What?
The caterpillar's eating off my pepper.
Oh, no.
Do you know how expensive this thing is? And there are others.
This is Paulette and her son Dane. We spoke with them about their experiences during the hurricane.
It was scary. It was relentless. So everything here came over on the roof.
Oh, wow.
Logs from the breadfruit tree fell right over my room. And I was actually laying down when that happened. So when I heard it, I jumped right off the bed.
This is some of the logs.
Okay.
There were two men knocking on the gate, and I came out and them said someone sent them to me to help me. And they made a ladder, climbed the roof, went on the roof, and removed the logs.
I'm a teacher, and through Starlink, I was able to hold online classes for my students who, because of course schools would have been out and so persons are far behind. Oh, and the generator.
Oh, yes.
The solar generator.
We got a solar generator, and with the power going in and out, we're able to use it to iron, to run the fan, to do all the things that we would not have been normally be able to do without electricity. So that was a good help.
The work ahead for this small island nation still feels overwhelming. But as Paulette walked us through her garden, the mood lifted. We shared a few laughs as she pointed out the plants she had carefully tried to protect during the storm, and lamenting the fat green caterpillars trying to eat her Scotch bonnet plant. In that simple moment, we saw again the determination and resilience of the people we met all week, and their deep trust in God to carry them through whatever storms may come.
We have to know that our Father is the one who controls everything, and if He wishes for things to be perfect, it will happen. If He wishes for us to go through trials, we just have to have an open mind and just not to be entitled. Our riches is in heaven. Just be faithful.
Good works is amazing. We are so grateful and so thankful for you guys.
And it is changing people's life across each area.
Come to the feast in Jamaica, see the people that you helped, hear their stories, see how the country has rebounded, because they want to be able to thank people in person.
Happy Feast!
May God continue to bless you.
And keep you, and may His face shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
And may He grant you His favor continuously. Thank you.
Thank you.